we are back with another episode of Pushing Buttons. This is episode 13. I am one half of the bromance B, and we have the other half, the Laker fan, the best kind of fan, the best brother, Keith.
What's going on, B? Hi, Claudia.
And on the other side, I have the very popular Miss IG her damn self. And if you don't like it, you can kiss her ass, Claudia.
What's up, everyone?
Like that. I'm working on my introductions, y'all. What is up, y'all? How you guys feeling? Let's go around the room and see how everybody is doing mentally and physically on this wonderful Friday night.
Mentally, I'm okay. Physically, I'm fine too. I mean, it's been a little colder here this week, so the jackets have started to come out and long sleeves and pants. But your type of weather, I know.
I like that.
But I'll take this over it being 90 and 100 any day, though.
Facts.
But
This
I'm
is
okay.
very true. This is very true.
Yeah, same. I'm excited for fall. I love fall, especially the outfits. But I don't know if I'm ready for the winter because I know that once fall hits, you know that right after comes those below zeros, and I hate those. I could do like 40, but nothing below that. That's nothing below that. But physically I'm good. I mean, my allergies have been acting up, which is really annoying. Mentally, I'm okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
You okay, B?
Yeah, I'm good.
Back at work?
I feel great. I'm back at work. It felt short. I have another short week coming up next week. So I'm all good. I'm feeling good. I'm not going to disrespect winter and fall like that. I just like winter and fall. Not because we get to wear whatever the fuck outfits. Claudia.
Fashion matters to me.
Okay. That's fair.
As
That's fair.
I'm wearing this.
Right. Right. You're over here looking like...
This is something that happened here in Chicago.
Actually, no. What are you talking about? I meant like you got short sleeves on and it's cold outside.
But it's not cold in here.
Well, yeah, no, it's not in here.
Well, yeah. Let me tell you about in here. It's not cold in here. It is fucked up in here. It feels like Arizona in this
It's
motherfucker.
not cold in here.
It's bad. Yeah, but I'm glad to hear everybody's doing good. We don't have to worry too much about everybody. I hope everybody that's out there listening is feeling good. I did want to say that it's Suicide Prevention Week, and shout out to you. You are strong. You can do it. You can make it through. I did, and you will too. And if you need that support, go reach out for that support. So I just wanted to give that quick shout out because I know that on that other podcast episode, I sounded like I was. Maybe it's to some folks, I sounded like I was endorsing whatever it was that I was endorsing, and I was not. I was simply saying that we should have the right. So just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah.
But
Because people can't take that the wrong way.
Right. But it is Suicide Prevention Week, and I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm big on that, so I'm big on mental health. I want to say that we are on all streaming platforms. We are on YouTube, we are on Apple, we are on Google, we are on Spotify, and we are on Anchor for your ass. I wonder if people got annoyed by me saying that yet.
I don't know. Maybe.
Anchor.
I haven't.
We're waiting.
People like it.
We're waiting, Anchor. We're waiting.
Waiting for the sponsorship.
We're waiting for the sponsorship. Yeah, they're taking forever. I need that. I need something from somewhere.
They hadn't got back to your emails?
Nah, they not worried about me.
Like, who's this?
What are you doing? You didn't even get the views for this shit yet.
Yep.
You wait and see. But yeah, just wanted to say that. Rate and review. Go subscribe to that YouTube, man. We need subscribers. If you guys want the fucking video of this shit, please go subscribe.
Oh, yeah. If you don't like listen, you want to see it?
Yeah, if you don't want to listen, you want to see it, it's on Fridays at noon. Go check it out. We look lovely. If you want to see our pretty faces on it, just go check that out. And yeah, let's jump right into the shits, guys. First up to bat is B's random thought of the week.
I have an inkling of what it is.
You have an inkling of what it is? Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay.
It's not a bad one. It's not a relationship one this week.
People seem to like those ones.
Relationship?
I had a relationship one lined up, and I'm going to save it.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, I had a relationship one like lined up, but I was like, let me not. Usually I don't have the random thought until I get here.
Don't forget it.
So today?
The relationship.
Oh no, the
one.
relationship one's great.
Okay.
You guys will love it. But
Okay.
let's stop hyping that one up. Let's talk about today's random thought of the week. And this week's random thought is when are you too old to start asking for low amounts of money to borrow? Like when are you too old? When it's like, all right, dude, you should be well off on your own now to
not borrow like
borrow
$10.
$10, $15, $20 from somebody.
Okay.
Like if it's a great amount,
Yeah.
then go by all means, fucking
Yeah, but
borrow.
$10 is not that much when you're like 25. I mean, you should have $10 in your pocket. You shouldn't be asking for $10.
So what age? What age should you not be asking?
I don't know. I never thought about that.
It's like you probably
Nobody's ever asked you for money?
I've never asked people for money, and nobody has ever asked me for money.
Oh
To
man,
be
you
honest,
got good friends.
I know.
But I forget she went to school.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they better be well off.
So probably
What?
like 20,
struggling
24,
still.
25. Like if you're living on your own, you shouldn't be asking for $10.
So what, 25?
Nah, that's still low.
21?
Oh no. Like 24, 23.
24, 23, you shouldn't be asking for low amounts of money.
Nah.
What do you do with $5? Like why
That's
would
what
you
I'm saying.
I
Why would you
don't-
need $5?
Right.
So
You know, I
what are you
don't-
doing with 10,
I don't.
$15, $20?
Okay, so this might be weird, or maybe not. But honestly, for me, asking someone for money is very uncomfortable. I don't like to do that at all. Like, if I am not able to go do something, or if I am not able to attend something, or whatever it is that has to do with money, and if I don't have the money, I'm just not gonna do it because I don't know. I don't feel right, or maybe it's
So you've never been in a hard place where you needed the money, not necessarily like a want or a thing like.
Yes,
Like,
I've
you needed
been.
it, but you didn't ask.
I've been in
like
a.
they're about to evict your ass and you need.
Well, no,
you're short
not-
like $25 and.
No, I haven't been in that, category, thankfully. But I have been at times where it's been like, I'm a little too tight on this. Like, I could go out, but if I go out, then let's say I have, I don't know, $100 in my bank account, right? This was while I was in college. Like, let's say I have $100 in my bank account. If I go out, I'm probably going to waste like 30. Do I really want to waste those $30? Do I really need to do that? No. But that's just me. However, I've encountered people who have gone out to dinner with me, and once the bill comes, they've said, oh my God, like I'm really short on money. And I'm like, then why did you come out to eat?
You were gonna pay.
No, I was. Here's the thing.
That was my plan the whole time.
No, but here's the thing. No, here's the thing. And then when that happens, I'm like, I'm not paying. I did not come here to pay for your dinner. That I didn't invite
Damn.
you out. No, because to me it's very disrespectful.
It is.
I did not invite
It's
you out. If
disrespectful
I
to the
invite you
friendship.
out, right? If I invite you out, by all means, I got you. But what makes you think that I'm not also in a very hard
out
moment
here
in
with
my
me.
life? So
Because you out here with me.
no,
So clearly not too hard.
well, neither is it for this other person. And then when I said, I'm sorry, but no,
Well, maybe that person looked at it as a free meal.
they pulled out their card and they're like, oh, okay. So then you do have money. You're just trying to act stupid. So that's why, like, no, I don't play those games.
Okay, but you just said, okay, like you'd be willing to buy somebody, right, if you invited them out, right?
Yeah.
So you've never been in that awkward position where you go out to buy something and then you're on your way to buy out something and then you ask the person, hey, do you want something? How the fuck am I supposed to know if you're paying or I'm paying? Should I just assume that I'm paying?
Usually if I ask the person, do you want something? I'll pay for it. But
Oh.
that's me.
Oh, if you're out together.
Like if I'm going
Like
to.
if you're like, no, let's say we're all sitting here, right? And then I'm like, yo, I'm going to 7-Eleven, gotta get some stuff. You want anything? And then you're like not well off. Like maybe you maybe not doing too well.
Yeah.
And then, you're like, well, maybe you're wondering if I'm gonna pay for that or am I paying for it? Like, how do you tell somebody? What if you don't want to pay for them? Then how do you tell them? Like, do you just straight up tell them, I'm not paying for you? Are you that brutally honest?
Well, to me, if I tell somebody, if I were to say, hey, I'm going to go to 7-Eleven, do y'all want some? I'm offering you if you want some. Like, but if I say, I don't know, I'm going to 7-Eleven, I'll be right back, and I don't say, do you want some? That means that I'm not. However, if you tell me, hey, can you get me something? Sure. You know, do you want to Cash App me? Do you want to Venmo me? How is that going to work?
I don't have any of those.
Well.
No, I've asked for money for sure. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you gotta. But I'm only, it's like I have to be fucked up. Like, if I'm asking you for it, that means I'm like in a rough spot and I need it. It's not.
I can only remember one time I did it.
Yeah. So I've borrowed money before from the homies though, from like a Keith or our other circle of close friends. But it's not like. But I looked at them as family. And if I need it, if you got it, I'm like, if you got it.
If you got it, that's
if
the
you
main
don't
thing.
got
If
it,
you
don't even bust your head about it. Yeah, don't even bust your head about it. Just fucking some other time, you know? But I've done it before. I'm prideful too, but I don't know. So how old then? We fucking steered off of that shit. How old?
I was like 20, 23, 24.
Yeah, don't ask me for no $10. You better be asking for 100.
If you need 10, ask for like 100. Don't ask for 10.
Right. If you need 10, ask for 100.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, probably 25 around. I don't know.
25?
Yeah, like 25 years old.
Okay. Because what if like a 20-year-old person was to walk up to you and they were like, "Hey man, I need $10." You got that?
A what?
Like a 25-year-old and they're like, "Hey man, you got $10?"
For what?
Depends on are we friends?
Right. I'm not gonna give some random person.
But what do you need $10 for? That's just a low amount at that age. What are we getting for $10?
Crack.
See,
I'm not gonna give you money for crack.
I'm not supporting a habit like that.
If somebody comes up to me, hey, can I get $10 for crack? No.
You don't appreciate the honesty?
I appreciate the honesty.
I'm not supporting the habit.
Well, you're not.
Thank you.
Supporting the habit.
Yes, I
am.
How? I'm asking you one time. That's not supporting.
It's not supporting?
Well, you're supporting it. Yeah, you are. In that moment, you are.
Yeah, but it's a one-time thing. Supporting to me, support would be like I'm constantly holding you up.
No, I don't believe that. I think support comes whether it's once or twice. I don't constantly have to support somebody. Support can come in different ways.
I don't know. Yeah, you have to be pretty. I don't know. Yeah, you got to be 22, 23. If you're living at home with your mama and you're asking me for $10, you need to get the fuck out of my face. Yeah. Or like if you're like a well-off adult, you're like in your 40s.
But you're living alone. Even if you're living alone, $25, you ask me for 100. Don't 25 is. You're on your own. You got your own place. $25.
All right, so if I ever need $10, I'm going to make sure I ask for 100 so you can give it to me.
Well, we didn't say it would give it to you. We're saying don't ask for more if you're gonna ask for 10.
That's such a low amount.
Yeah,
to be asking
for. So what's your minimum amount? Or your
100.
minimum. 100?
Yeah. Okay. If you're going to ask for money, ask for $100.
Unless you give me a legit reason why you're $25 short on something.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you give me a legit reason why, then cool.
For like gas. And so they're like, hey, I'm starting a new job and it's been really hard. Can you let me borrow $20 for gas to get there and to get back? I think that's a good reason.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Hop on the bus. Why do you need $20? We really start to think about this shit, you know?
Yeah, when it comes to
really
money.
need gas money? Get your ass on a bus. How about I give you $10 to get back there and back?
People are too prideful to get on the bus once they get a car.
People are too prideful nowadays for anything. Like, I remember asking people. I know now. Like people when they call off and they're like, "Hey, my car broke down." Then hop your ass in a fucking Uber. Hop your ass on the bus. Hop your ass. Like there's a million options
to get anywhere
for you to get wherever the fuck you need to get
for one day.
Yes,
your car is not your own. You were fine without the car before, motherfucker. Get your ass on the bus. Get your ass on an Uber and get your ass to work. That's what I would say. Because that's crazy. But yeah, that was my random thought, guys. It was somebody sent it in on a fly, so I had to shout out to you, Flying Hawaiian here.
I'm sure they know who they are.
Yeah, they know who they are. So the next topic we're gonna talk about gets a little more iffy.
Because why?
Because people are sensitive.
Because what?
People are sensitive.
And we don't even relate, kind of.
We can't because we don't have kids. But we can say stuff.
I know.
Yeah, opinions.
I hate that.
Opinions.
I hate that. I hate when they say,
I know.
you ain't got kids, so you don't know.
That's fine. I have a little sister
B.
who
My
I've
sister
helped
said the
raise.
same thing.
Man, shut up. Man,
You got nieces. It's fucking fine. I think
doesn't matter.
I know it doesn't matter
I
if you
can
didn't
have an
any.
opinion on something.
no,
like
but
that.
I'm saying for people who would be like, "Oh, you don't have kids," but you're seeing your nieces grow up. Like you have an opinion on that.
All right, so what we're talking about, y'all, for the listeners, is parenting. Parenting. And is there a right way to parent? Should parents control what their kids are watching?
They should.
You think so?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they should.
You think so?
Yeah, they should control.
How much
what their
control does your
kids.
parents have of what
They
you watch?
control until you're 18. They can control what you watch.
18.
I didn't ask.
You're living in the house.
I didn't ask for that question. I didn't ask for that answer. I was asking for a specific answer on a specific question.
Okay, ask it again.
How much were your parents controlling what you were watching? When
They
you were
weren't
growing up?
controlling all that much.
They would make sure that I wasn't watching anything like sexual.
And then you still watched it.
No,
I don't lie.
actually, no, I didn't.
Oh my god, bro!
So I'm the only bad kid in the fucking world, huh?
I didn't know, but whenever
You're not the only bad kid.
no, because novelas are really big in the like Latino community.
And they're nasty.
And sometimes, right, and that's the only thing I would watch, but I would be monitored by my parents. So I would have
Really?
to, if I want to watch anything like that, I'd watch it with them. But once I turned, I think like possibly 15, I had way more, like, I watched whatever the fuck I wanted to watch.
You? When
Yeah.
did you watch your first dirty?
Oh my god, I don't.
Like a sex scene or something like that in a movie, or like something
I was
something that was,
actually-
or
oh
like
my
something
God.
like something
Oh, that's
inappropriate.
I was 9.
Probably really. I was probably younger than that.
I
Really?
was I was 9. But this is a funny story. So my grandpa, for some fucking reason, thought it was a good idea to take me to the movies. And instead of watching a kid's film at the age of 9, he took me to see Jason versus Freddy. And that was I will never forget. That was the first. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with this dude?
Yo, Freddie fucked some girl in
Yes,
that
he
movie.
did.
Yes.
And he was like,
Exactly. Imagine that being your first like sexual scene that you've ever seen. I was like, oh wow, so that's what that
oh,
is.
and then in the beginning, they're like fucking on the bed, and then the shit bends in half, right?
Oh yeah.
For anybody who didn't watch, spoiler alert, too late. I
Yeah.
already said it. But you should have seen it already by now.
I know, it's old.
Fucking shit's old as hell.
So yeah, my grandfather did
I
that
can't
to
remember the
me.
exact age.
But
I
you,
know
do
it's-
you remember? No, you don't remember exactly what you were watching.
No, I don't remember exactly what it was. No.
I was watching a lot
Pornhub.
of crazy shit. Porn.
No.
Look at Keith. He went,
No. Come on, guys. I think I was I honestly don't remember. See, I've been listening to like stuff since I was a kid, and I've been watching stuff since I was a kid. Like my shit, like I talk about this all the time with my girlfriend. She thinks that I was like this weird, twisted fucking little kid because I was out here like listening to vulgar hip hop, and like she listens to me listen to Biggie, and he's over here like talking about crazy shit. And she's like, damn, dude, what the fuck were you doing when you were a kid? Like, what were your parents letting you do? Like, my parents had stuff in place. Like, they obviously didn't want us watching that stuff, but I still watched it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna find ways to watch it.
Right, yeah.
That's my point. Like, it's so contradicting parents nowadays, you know? Or even parents in general. They're very contradictive. Like, it's a lot of contradiction in what they spew. That's why it's funny to me.
So you can't control what your kids watch.
I don't think so. I think
Yeah,
you
no.
It's easier now. I think.
should they do it? Probably.
Isn't it easier to control the content?
No.
I mean,
No.
well,
It's not?
there's
You don't think so?
there's parent
There's
control.
parent control on almost
What does
everything now.
that mean?
Yeah, there's parent control on a lot of things. So
What the fuck does that mean? When the kid knows the password to your phone, and then you can just look up as some shit or find out what the password is. Like, you act like these kids are stupid or something. Like, they can't just peek over and see you type some shit in. Like, we don't give them enough credit.
I don't know. Maybe yeah. We probably don't.
I mean, I don't know. At least for my sister, like I don't do anything in front of her because of that exact reason. Like she's not dumb. You know what I mean? So whenever she says, for example, for Google, it's like you need the parental code for certain things. And I'm like, for what? What do you need this for? She's like, oh, I need it for this. So first of all, it's my email. So everything has to go through my email. She does not have the information to my email.
Okay, let's say you control all of that, right? And then I've seen stuff where it's like you go on YouTube or some shit like that, right? And you got all these parental controls on it, blah, 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 right? You got control over it. And then there's some weirdo who was doing this weird shit where he was putting inappropriate shit in kids' videos, like middle of the video or like at the end of the video or somewhere like in the thing.
Yeah.
There was like weird shit happening, like bad stuff. Like at that point, you know what I'm saying? Like it's only so much,
at that point it's out
like,
of your
all,
control,
like,
technically. Yeah, I mean, even on TikTok, I believe that this week there was this scandal because there was a video, roaming around of someone who committed suicide.
Really? Like on.
Oh yeah, we're so desensitized to shit nowadays.
Yeah.
You scroll, you don't scroll through Twitter and just see like crazy shit.
Oh yeah, I see it.
I remember one time I woke up and decided to scroll through Twitter and some crazy ass shit was going on where some girl like got killed.
Oh yeah,
it was on the internet all over Twitter and the video was just like being uploaded.
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck? So that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know, like you can control it, but there's also like ways around that for somebody who wants to, you know. So like there's not too much control you can have. Another question would be, is there a right way to parent? Let me ask you this. Let me give you a situation, right?
Okay.
Let me give you a situation, a hypothetical. Maybe it's not a hypothetical. Maybe I've seen this in real life. We don't know. You're hanging out somewhere, right? Let's say you're in a I don't know, a bus stop. And there's like a bunch of people around, right? You and a couple other people. And then there's like a mom and her kid, right? The kid's acting up and shit, you know, being a little bitch.
Oh my God.
Oops.
You gotta stop using that word.
I know. Okay, being a little asshole. And then, is that better?
I sure.
Being a little asshole, right? And then she just starts beating the shit out of him.
Like we talking about full on.
Like just beating him. Whipping him, smacking him, slapping him, punching him, all types of crazy shit.
Oh,
What do you do?
I'm calling it.
What do you do in a situation like that?
No, that's not okay. There's
Why?
Why? That's, first of all, that's abuse. One, because there's corporal punishment, but there's different ways of doing it. For me, at least. Like
Okay, what if she slaps him once and then spanks the shit out of him? Bah, bah, bah.
Okay. That's okay with me. That's
You gonna let it happen?
Yeah, that's discipline. I'm gonna be honest. That's discipline.
You
Now,
think
if
so?
you get to punching and hitting them like aggressively.
What makes you think that that's not?
So what are you gonna say to
the same
that?
thing?
Because I think it's.
So what are you
because,
saying?
Because it kind of happened to me too. I mean, it was discipline for me. So.
So what do you say to that
And
person?
it worked.
If you're gonna intervene, right, and you're gonna call somebody, they're not gonna show up like 10
right?
seconds
No,
later.
they won't. They won't.
What are you doing in the meantime?
I would intervene. I would tell her like, hey, you know, like stop.
What she say?
Don't tell me how to parent my kids.
Well, that's abuse. What are you doing?
What's abuse to you might not be abuse to me.
I don't care. I would still intervene. I would intervene. I understand disciplining your kids, but there's a fine line between disciplining your kids and abuse.
Now, a lot of parents would be in prison if they were like from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I was a little shit. I used to tell my mom, I'm calling the police. And she used to be like, call them motherfuckers. You're not going to have a mom and a dad no more. You right, mom? Like, what do you do? Like, I'm not intervening in that.
You not?
No. That's not my place.
In no situation.
I'll call somebody. That's my moral compass, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling somebody. Hey, man, there's a lady here beating the shit out of her kid. That's it. But I'm not going up to nobody.
Oh, no, I probably wouldn't go up.
That ain't my place. She's going to look at me like I'm fucking crazy. This is my kid.
And then what do you say after that? Nothing, you guess it?
What are the laws to that? How much is too far?
Well,
Like, what if
you
I
cannot.
and then I smack.
Technically,
Continue to smack.
no. Technically, with the DCFS laws, as long as there are no marks, then it's not abuse.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Dang. I'm not gonna do my parents like that, but dang. No marks. You're gonna hit somebody, it's gonna leave a mark.
And that's exactly why, because there's a difference between hitting a kid and like trying to like smack them and like, because for me,
What the fuck is that gonna do?
no, here's the thing, because I'm thinking about me. For me, I don't recall being corporally punished, to be honest. Like, that wasn't the way my parents disciplined me. That's not the way that they believe in discipline. They would, for them, they knew that what worked was no TV, nothing, just literally me just laying there on my bed the entire time. That was fucking miserable to me, because I've also noticed that when it comes to hitting children, there's a point where they're like, okay, I'm gonna take it, but I'm gonna keep doing whatever the fuck I want. I know that the hitting's gonna come, so you do it. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't believe in that, but I think that if you were to just like spank, but it's a spank enough to scare the child, but not to abuse the child, there's a big difference, because you can spank a child and not leave a mark. The minute you spank a child and you're leaving marks, that's abuse.
Yeah. That's this. That ain't gonna do shit.
No, but you could, I mean, and again, you could do it a little bit harder and it's still not gonna leave a mark. Like, you have to hit someone really hard to leave a mark.
But it's not.
No, you have to hit someone really hard to leave a mark. So. And the thing too is
you get bruised easily, and then what?
And the thing too is that the hit of an adult on a child, you can't compare that. If you think about it.
Some of these kids need their ass beat.
Yeah.
Like a whooping. Something that's gonna be like, man, you ain't never doing that shit again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because
I think
we're going, well,
at some point.
belts were used growing up. So
Me too. Yep, belts were used. Yep.
And again, that would be abuse.
It would have been abuse at the time.
Especially if like marks were left.
Yeah.
Fucking belt.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that would have
Sometimes
been.
that other part slipped and hit you, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, that would be considered abuse because the mark was there.
Nah, I learned my lessons a few times.
Yeah, you learn not to do stuff you want not to hit by the
I mean, for me, I learned not to do stuff and I wasn't hit. So I guess it depends on the
You're a
child.
smart child then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say that my little sister is the same way.
Oh, you privileged then.
I don't think so. I guess it just depends.
Yeah, it depends.
My parents didn't like constantly beat my ass, but they reminded me that they were my parents.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, a parent could remind you that they're your parents and not have to put a hand on you, too.
Sometimes it doesn't work.
For some kids.
For a lot of kids.
I think it's a bunch of bad kids out there.
There is.
Right.
They are. They're all fucking bad.
Some that needs just one time to know.
So then,
that
if a kid does something bad, like, what is it that they have to do for you to beat them?
Like, they cannot listen. Like, they can do, you tell them to stop doing something, and they continuously do it because they think it's funny or something.
Yeah. And the talking, getting down on your fucking knees, hey, don't do that again, isn't fucking working. I'm sorry, that's not gonna get. Have you growing up, like, if somebody talked to you like that in real life, would you pay attention to them? Probably the fuck not. If somebody was like, hey man, you know, it's okay that you were late to work, don't worry about it, just don't do it again. That shit ain't gonna work. I have to fucking I have to go the extra step to remind you that you're not gonna do that again. Like, it's not as simple as just saying,
right. And as an adult,
stop.
if you okay, so as an adult, let's say you go in to work late, they're not gonna beat you.
They're not gonna beat you,
right?
But
But
get
what
it
are
right
they
up,
gonna do?
But you know it can affect your money. That's why.
And as
It
a kid,
affects something.
and as a kid, maybe why don't parents then try and understand, like, okay, what is really gonna hurt my child? That would.
What can they do?
What do you mean?
What's gonna work?
What can they take away from the kid?
Yeah, what do you
There's a
take
lot
away?
of things you can take away from kids nowadays. Like, kids will go crazy if they don't have like
give
their
a shit about
phone.
none of that shit, man.
It's
Especially
true,
some of the
though.
little ones. Get a fucking box and play with that shit, and still find a way to annoy the shit out of you.
I don't know. I don't believe in. For me.
I don't believe on beating the shit out you.
I understand.
I believe in you deserve a spanking every once in a while.
I understand like a spanking, but again, I wouldn't go to the extent of leaving a mark. Like I would not use an object to.
Oh, you wouldn't use an object. Oh,
I would not. No.
I don't know.
It's so funny.
I disagree. These kids is bad, man. Kids are bad nowadays. There's no
tell
parents.
they never had a
There is
whooping
no
in their
parents.
life.
There is no parents nowadays. Motherfuckers got options nowadays. I didn't have options. Like there was no options. There was two. You stop the fuck you're doing or you're getting your ass beat.
He's right. He's not wrong.
Nowadays you got like 6-7 options. That's why they don't ever learn. And then they do some dumbass shit and then you're like, damn, I don't know how they did that dumbass shit. Because of your dumbass parenting.
I don't know. I
Like
don't know.
how do you like what, there's consequences to everything. I feel like when we baby somebody too much.
No, I feel like there is, again, it depends what kind of corporal punishment it is that you're providing. What I'm getting from what you're saying is like, yeah, just beat your kid. You know what I mean? Like
No,
it's okay.
not even that, because sometimes if the kid's crying, they just want their way, and you just do something to make them stop crying. Why don't you just let them cry until they?
Yeah, like
not
it's
crying
fine. If
anymore.
for me, it's like, okay, if you want to cry, go ahead, cry. Like if I go to a grocery store and you decide to cry, cry. I don't give a fuck. Your lungs are gonna go. Keep crying. They're looking at you. They're not looking at me.
No, they're looking at you.
They looking at you.
No, I don't.
They're looking at you. I'm looking at you.
No, but I
I'm
wouldn't.
looking at you. Yo, man.
I wouldn't care.
Get shit together.
But that's the thing. If you do that with a kid, kids get embarrassed very easily. If you tell a child they're not looking, trust me, it'll work.
way.
It'll work.
No way.
Kids don't get embarrassed. I don't think.
No, they
Not that
don't.
much.
They don't even know what the fuck that
They
is.
they are shy. I don't necessarily get embarrassed.
I've seen kids cry in front of everybody and throw themselves on the floor and cry in front of everybody. They ain't give a fuck. At all. Nothing. And now you got this crazy ass baby and everybody else is looking at you crazy.
They don't look at the kid.
Because they
So
look
then
at
what
you.
would
They
you
look
do?
at you. They look at you like you don't know what you're doing. That's honest truth. I swear. Even the ones that aren't beating their kids is looking at you crazy.
They just could have just that moment, and
Yeah.
it just happened in public. That's all.
Yeah.
So
That's
then what do you
crazy.
do?
Me? I'm not having kids.
No, but if you were to have a child, then what would you
I'm
do?
dragging you the fuck out that store. We leave it, dude. Now.
And then what?
And if you continue to act like a little fucking asshole, and I continue to tell you to stop doing what the fuck you're doing. Because see, there's a thing. There's a fine line between just crying and wrecking shit. Or crying and doing all this extra shit. That's not okay, dude. Because that leads, we talk so much about what, like, trauma and all this other shit and stuff that leads to what people do and why they're this way. That also has something to do with why people are the way they are. Your upbringing, what you were done as discipline. And if you don't know what that is, you freak out the moment it happens. And then now you're not ready for the real world. And that's my thing. Like, I can only give you so many chances. I'm not gonna beat you right away when you start to do stupid shit. But there's gonna be steps leading to it.
But that's the thing. I don't think that's the word. Beat.
Okay. What about you? Whatever. I don't mean beat the shit out of somebody.
No, because that's the thing. When the thing is, that's why I was confused, because I'm like, you guys keep saying beating and
No,
beating. To me, beating is like,
That's a beating. Getting your whooping is a beating. Getting your ass beat. And it's gonna be hard enough for you to know not to do it again. It works.
and then what if it doesn't work? Because some children just become used to it.
That's fine.
So you're just constantly going to be hitting your child.
I mean, at some point it ends, right? At some point you outgrow that.
And then what about if your child has that
Then
resentment?
you just got one badass kid. What resentment?
The resentment that you beat them.
And I beat your ass. That's it. I whooped you.
You wouldn't care about that dynamic that you have with your child.
She said you wouldn't care if your child.
No,
was
because
in
that's
you.
not the end all to
No,
everything.
I'm just saying,
You know what I'm saying?
if. I'm saying if. I'm not saying that will happen.
No, I'm
just
saying like that's
if.
not the end all to that. Though, like I beat you, so what? Move the fuck on.
No, but that's the child doesn't feel that way.
Like I whooped you.
It's kind of like no.
I
So
know plenty of kids that get whooped and then they're right by their parents again. That happens.
Yeah,
because
but
they
it
go to
also
their parents for comfort.
right,
Yeah.
but it also happens where
And then you remind them, don't do that shit again.
But it also happens where the child grows up and there's this huge amount of resentment.
Oh, I can't help you with that.
Oh my god.
I can't help you with like. That's just sit down and talk to me. You're a grown up now. Let's sit down and talk.
But what if they're like 15? What if they're in high school? Feel this way.
Let's sit down and talk. We talking. You act like I'm gonna whoop you and then never talk to you again,
Yeah.
and then continue to whoop you and never talk to you about it again. No, we gonna have conversations.
I don't want to do it, but
When I used
you
to
made
get
me the
whooped,
choice.
there was conversations after. about it.
After you cool down,
Yeah. After everybody's cooled off and everything's settled down, you had conversations. Hey man, you need to stop doing that shit. It's not cool. Don't do that.
And then
no
what
more.
would they say right after? I love you. Don't do that again.
Don't do it again. Yeah, just don't do it again. Like I don't want to hit you.
Yeah,
That's what
I
my
don't wanna
dad.
do it.
That's what I don't want to hit you.
But you didn't give me no.
But
you
they
didn't give me
still
many
hit
options.
you.
You didn't give me many options at that point.
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
There's
You
a lot
think
of
you got
there's
options.
there's no for me. And the thing is that I've worked with parents who have hit their kids in ways that
Aren't
no
cool. Probably,
So for
I'm
me,
sure.
I don't see it as proper.
Okay.
And then I also see a lot of issues with telling your kids like I'm hitting you, and then right after hitting them and doing
Well,
whatever
you
it
can't
is
have
that you're
tunnel
doing.
vision. Like you can't have tunnel vision just because you deal.
But
with,
again, that's what I.
Well, I get that, but I'm saying like you can't have tunnel vision. If that was the case, that you know what I'm saying, like you can't just be like, damn, beating's bad and that's all it is. There's no like positive outlooks. to
No,
it.
but
Because there's positives and negatives to everything, right?
No,
So you-
because, and that's what I'm saying. For me, there's a certain form of corporal punishment that is okay.
So what's okay to you? Show me.
For me, it's okay. If you don't leave a mark, it's fine. Because
Okay,
you're
so
not
define a
hitting-
mark though.
you're
Define
not-
a mark.
A mark? What do you
Like-
mean? A mark
like-
in your body?
No. Like anything. Like
If I were to smack you and my
because you're gonna get
fingers-
red.
And but if my fingers like literally stick to like the skin of a child, that's considered abuse. Like that mark right there is considered abuse.
I don't know, Claude. I think it's a little skewed because of the field. I think it's skewed.
It could be, but it's also my belief. Like I don't.
I'm sure. Yeah, no. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not doubting that that's your belief.
Like for me,
but
it's
it
like
comes from
if
somewhere.
if my child was to honestly throw a whole tantrum, most definitely, yeah, I am gonna spank it in a way that I find appropriate to do it to my child. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't spank my baby because it's crying for no reason.
Obviously,
you know what I'm
that's
saying? Like,
different.
now if I were
they're old enough to
if my
understand.
2-year-old is throwing a whole tantrum, it's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? And if I'm talking to this child and the child is still not understanding, most definitely, like probably yes, I would spank the booty, you know? And then you're going to go straight to your room. Everything is going to be gone and you're going to stay there. And if you want to cry, keep crying.
You're gonna get a kid one day that you're gonna do that to. He's gonna be like,
I mean, I wouldn't hit the child. I wouldn't hit it like that. Like what is that going to do? That's not going to do anything to anyone.
that's not gonna do nothing either. I'm trying to envision. I think it's hard because none of us have kids. So
that's
it's
probably
hard. Like I get it. Like we don't have kids, right? And I don't want to seem like the person that you don't know what the fuck you're doing because you don't have kids. Mm-hmm. But I'm also in the side of we're not in that position. So we don't know exactly how we're gonna react. We can always assume how we're gonna react, but we can always have these like theories and hypotheticals of how we would react. But in that moment, man, kids do some crazy ass, goofy ass shit sometimes.
I mean, and to be honest, I have a younger sister, and I pretty much helped raise her. Like I pretty much helped raise her. Like I would take care of her.
That's your sister at the end.
I know, but however, I had every right to discipline her, and I disciplined her several times because she would try it. You know, but I don't know. I feel like I was able to speak to her, and just with that raising my voice, you'd be like, oh, like I know this is serious.
Yeah, but that's like once in the like that's like not that's what I'm saying. Like,
but again,
it's one case.
It could depend on the child.
Yeah, it's one case of one person with this certain personality. Like it could change. What if you get a badass fucking kid?
Yeah.
At that situation, what do you do? Like, what do you do? And it's probably even harder when it's your first child, because then you really don't know what the fuck, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if the child needs a spanking, by all means. But to me, it's like my issue is when like items are being used where you're just like hitting your kid.
Yeah, I'm not with that. Like, I'm not throwing shit at you.
No, but
Don't
I'm
put
saying like,
aggressive.
and that's the thing. Like that's where lines
Although,
could get
parents,
crossed.
man, parents, I know you want to do it. Like, let's be real. There's a lot.
Oh,
of
I'm sure.
Parents hide a lot of shit. Like, I have a theory about that.
Really?
Yeah, parents hide a lot of stuff.
I mean, there's.
I feel like certain parents who like are like having like encountered like have kids, right? Like, let's say you have kids, and your intentions weren't to have a kid. I feel like sometimes some people, not everybody, some people, I think it's a forced relationship.
Oh, you think it? Oh, okay.
I think because in the idea of society, you're supposed to love this kid. So it's already engraved in your head that you have to love this kid, no matter what, even though you truly don't feel that way.
Like in the moment, it's kind of like, I hate you right now. Is that what you're saying?
No, like you don't like the kid.
At all?
Yeah. I think that exists. Where it's like, but since we're so used to, we'd be surprised like what like society and what just us as humans will do based off just years and years and years and years of,
I mean,
this is the right thing to do. This is the
No,
right
but
thing
I believe that happens. I mean, there's been a lot of people who say, I regret having my child. And they say it very openly.
Really?
A lot of people don't though. Some people
Oh,
do.
well, I've heard that.
I've heard
Really?
it too.
Yeah, they're like, I regret having my child. But
How old was the kid?
I don't know. They were older.
You want to talk about trauma?
But but they had the child at a very young age.
Okay.
And this person was like,
it's usually followed by a but, like that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you not liking your, like I feel like we turn the switch on because that's what we have to do. I don't feel like because it's because you want to do it. You get me? It's hard to explain. It's like, oh, here's this baby that came into this world. Now I'm forced to love it. Because that's what society and just the human mind is instilled to do. And that's what you see when you grow up. That's what you see when you do. This is the stuff that they tell you, right? That it's okay, which is fine. But I just feel like there's a lot of times there's a lot of lying and stuff behind the love for a child. Kind of like when people say, "Oh man, this baby's so cute," and it's all fucking slimy and shit.
No, there's ugly babies out there. I don't care what anybody says. People say
all babies are ugly when they're born.
Right. Everybody's saying how like, oh, they're a blessing and they're so cute. I'm like, no, that baby looks like an alien.
Yeah, babies look like aliens when they're first born.
Yeah.
They're dirty and so cute and all this other stuff. They got gooey stuff. They look like aliens.
But about that, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that theory of parents.
I could get what Berto's saying.
I could get it, but at the same time, I don't.
It's a
I don't
weird
know.
concept.
I don't know.
It's really dark, B.
Oops.
Like
it's a really messed up thing.
I genuinely think that a parent loves their child. However, there's a lot of things that can sometimes come between that love, which is like the regret of having the child or how the child is acting, or even having resentment towards your child. Like you could have resentment towards your child. But I don't know.
I don't know. It's weird to me how you can go, and that's what people always say, right? You won't know until you're holding the baby and you're looking at it, and it's. But like that's, I feel like that's a switch that they turn on because you have to.
And I feel like, well, I don't know what it's like for men to have like babies. I've never really had a conversation with the father who has actually said what they felt when they've seen their child. Mm-hmm. But with mothers, I don't know if it's what, like you said, it's what they're trained to say, but they're always kind of like, you have something inside of you it's a part of you. There's no way for you to not care for it. Like, and then once it comes out, like it's there. You created that. That's all you. Like that's a part of you, and it'll be a part of you for the rest of your life, even if they're fucking assholes. And that's the part where like a lot of parents, even when their kids are fucking assholes, they stick by their child regardless. And there are parents who their kids are assholes and they're like, no, fuck that. Like I don't want to be a part of that.
I don't know, man. I have a weird, like that's my theory, but I don't know. It's just a little weird thing that I think about sometimes. I think a lot of things are forced.
Like I believe that parents have favorites for sure.
They don't necessarily say it, do they?
Some will.
Some parents
don't.
will say it.
I mean, it depends. Well,
Especially the dynamic you have with your child. Like sometimes you have a stronger connection with one child and not as strong with the other. Maybe the father has a stronger connection with this kid. You know what? So it depends, but I don't think that they'll love them any less and you know what I'm saying? But it's still a different connection.
All right. Well, let's talk about one more thing on this and then move on to the next thing. Should content people, so people like us,
Yeah.
content creators, right? Should content creators filter for kids?
Nope.
Like
No.
filter content for their
No.
kids?
No.
no.
No?
No. Wait. No.
If I make content for 17 or older or adults, that's what I'm making it for. I'm not
Right. I'm not
to
thinking about a child.
I'm going to adjust what I do
No?
as a profession to please someone else.
No. That's the parent's job.
That's, yeah.
Check on what your children, in this case, like the podcast, what they're listening to.
Obviously, you can't do everything. So,
Right.
you know.
But no, I don't think you should filter yourself at all.
Damn. We just talked about how much we cared about kids.
That doesn't mean
That don't
anything.
mean
It's
you
not.
have to filter
Right.
it.
That's the parent's job. It's not my job to raise your child and only talk about what you think I should be talking about so your child can listen. Like in that case, then there would be no content.
Yeah, it wouldn't be.
No content for adults whatsoever. Everything would be happy and
There's a lot of
sunrise and
stuff like
rainbows.
that. I think everything is like that. Movies are like that. Everything usually has a happy ending in movies.
Oh, yeah, nothing really has dark endings too many.
That's why I still like.
I've seen movies with dark endings.
I have, but I'm saying like most.
Like most of
It's
them.
an oddity.
Right, but regardless of whether it has a sad ending or a happy ending, if it's not for a child, it's not for a child.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of filtering. I'm not a fan of filtering, period, but like filtering for kids, I'm terrible at it. So I'm terrible at it as this, and I'm terrible at it as a person. I forget.
Well, people don't like when celebrities not filter their content because that's what they look up to.
Yeah, what if they look up to you?
then they look up to me.
But they don't. The parents are like,
It's like, why are you
doing this or why are
Yeah.
you doing that?
Because I'm not doing it for your kid.
You don't tell that to the kid?
Yeah.
Look at Claudia, man. She went from loving the kids to fuck you.
But it's the truth. Like,
I'm
if
not your
it's
hero.
If it's
I'm not your hero.
if it's not for, it's like, for example, Cardi B is a perfect example of this.
Go ahead.
I don't know, I saw something on Instagram. She'd be popping up and she said something along the lines of like, oh, I have to watch myself now for the kids. I don't think she should have to be like, oh my God, now I have to watch everything I say because
It's
of
easy
the
to
kids.
say it's easy to say when we're not that, but like I could see why you would have to worry about it because it starts to fuck with your money.
It does.
And I feel like that sucks because
does.
it's not on her. You know what I mean? Like
It's not.
a child should really not be listening to they'll listen because other kids are listening.
they'll
You know what
show
I'm
you.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. But no, I don't think we should filter anything.
All right.
No.
So no's across the board. Let
Yeah.
us know if you think we should be parenting your kids. So we'll keep it going with this. It's kind of the same concept around it.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but it has to do with video games. Sorry, have to burp. Yeah, it has to do with video
Ew.
games. I don't know how to burp, so it has to do with video games and like violence. Do you think video games contribute to like youth violence?
Do I? No, I don't.
No.
No.
Do y'all think
It didn't. Personally, for me, it don't.
Well, it
translate.
depends on the kid.
He just gave up.
see this?
No, it does.
It depends on the kid.
Well, it does. But I don't think it Okay, no, let me explain myself. I don't think that video games will make a kid aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that it will be.
You don't think so?
I don't think think so. I mean, I've seen so many kids.
So what if a little kid? What if?
Oh well,
somebody-
what type? Like
Okay, I'm gonna give you a situation.
shooting
No, yeah.
games?
Okay, so
Oh, okay.
what if you're like 9 years old and you got your kid like Grand Theft Auto, but you didn't because it's you played it when you was growing up. You just gave it to him because it was okay for you. You didn't do anything. But what if that kid? That's all they see, and Grand Theft Auto is not really made for a kid.
and that's what I'm saying. Like,
And they just pick up all that.
And that's
it's
what I'm-
And then they turn out to try to do some of the stuff that's in the game that you would necessarily in real life, but they don't know any better.
exactly, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I guess it depends on the kid, because something that I could have been doing when I was growing up might have not affected me, but it affects my child. You know what I mean? So that's what I meant by when I said like it depends on the child too.
So it depends on each individual.
But then it
person.
also
So
depends
it
on
depends on
the
the child all across the board.
But then
for
it
this,
also depends like on the parents. If you go ahead and you give your child like this game, you know, you should also kind of explain like, hey, this is not reality, this is just a game, and maybe even like try and play with your kid just so they see a playful manner to it, and they don't see like, oh yeah, I have to, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, that's what I think.
But war exists.
No, they do. And I know someone actually who he would only play like shooting. I don't know anything about
Shooting
video games. But shooting games. I don't. Shooting games, and this kid decided to join the army because that's to him, that's what he wanted to do. Just like, oh, I just want to go to the army and do this. And he knew everything about guns. And personally, I do not think he should be in the army whatsoever. But also, like, I personally...
Shout out to you.
But also, I don't think that he was properly educated on video games by the parent either, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. Violence in video games is funny to me.
It's
I want to say that you're honestly a stupid ass if you let video games control what you would do in real life or what. Or
But you're not being sensitive if you say something like that.
right. You're still an idiot. I'm gonna go ahead and say that.
You are?
Yeah. You're an idiot.
You gonna push buttons this time?
If you play video games and you like enjoy shooting games and then you go out there and want to shoot shit, you're an idiot.
Yeah, something is not right.
It's not
You're
clicking.
an idiot. And maybe you should get help. I don't know. But you're still an idiot.
Though you should get help if you're thinking about hurting people in real life.
Yeah.
There's
Like-
no thinking about it.
Yeah, like you're an idiot though. Like I never could have grasped that concept of people doing that. It's so stupid to me. How you could take something that's such simple as a game and it's fake and want to apply it to real life situations. Like just because you shoot people in the fucking video games, that's not what real life war is like, dude.
Yep.
Like that's not how war works. Because there's real life consequences in war if you die. You don't just respawn.
No. Most people might think that. People,
Yeah, like that's just stupid.
you
to
get another
me.
chance. I mean, you know.
Yeah, you're an idiot if you think that's like, I don't know. I'm done filtering. I'm gonna start getting edgier. But so what we're getting at, Claudia. I'm
But
gonna
they
keep
do
shooting
have-
shits with you on this podcast episode today. Look, she's giving me the meanest look in the world, man. She's
I'm
like,
smiling at him.
yeah. Well, it's like one of those like, you motherfucker. So what I'm getting across is kids matter. It's different for individual kids for everything except when you're beating shit out of them. Well, whipping them.
Oh my God.
I keep saying beating, but
Yes,
whooping,
you do.
beating to me is all the same. So it's only different for when it's filtered content for kids and for violence. Oh shit. Like it depends on the kid in that situation, but not when it's like parenting.
Well, it depends.
like,
the parent
so-
should, when it comes to filtering content, the parent should then, if you don't want your child to watch something or listen to something or see something, you should be on top of that.
True.
That's a part of I think that's a part of parenting. That's a part of educating your child. That's a part of disciplining your child. When it comes to video games, it affects the individual itself and as to if they were to do something because they believe that this video game is reality. But I also hold the parents accountable as to, are you educating your child? Don't just buy a video game for your child and be like, here you go, just because you want some alone time and you don't want your child to bother you, but have your child being consumed by something. At the end of the day, yes, it affects the individual, the child, but it also has to do a lot with the parent. What are you doing as a parent?
What if I control all that and it still doesn't work?
What do you mean?
Like, what if, like, you could have all the control in the world and your kids still turn out to do whatever and watch whatever and see whatever and play whatever?
Well, that's I don't know, that's the kid. Like, if the kid somehow figures out how to do whatever they want, then you should maybe take a look at your parenting. And
what if I did a good job?
How do you know if you're doing a good job?
Exactly, you don't know.
Right.
With a kid, it's kind of like,
Will you know when will you know you did a good job?
I think I know, that's a good question.
When do you know you're doing a good job?
I don't know. For me, like, when I have kids, as long as my kid is not, he didn't go
Here goes the aspirations that they have for the kid that they want to.
No, listen,
We're so selfish, man. We're so fucking selfish.
as long as my child is not doing a whole mass shooting, I think that's a win, for one, right? If my child were to get pregnant or were to get someone pregnant at a young age, you know what? I did the best I can. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you're going to have your fucking child or you're not going to have your child. I don't know. Depends on how they feel about having kids, you know? But I feel that a lot of parents are kind of like, oh, as long as my child doesn't do drugs and as long as my child doesn't do this and does this. But
no.
It all depends. Like,
I feel like parents live through their kids. And I think that there's a lot of.
But don't you think that could also be is because they're trying to, in a way, when you think about it, it's like they're trying to give the child what they didn't have, which could potentially be like something better.
To you.
To the child.
No,
to you.
To you.
Because that's a concept that you're drawing up that you don't know if that's what the child wants. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's a concept that you're, like, me saying that something's going to be better because I didn't have it or because I didn't do this. Or
something
like,
that he wants.
But how do you know that that's what he wants? Like, as good as it may sound to you, how do you know? Like, that's what I'm saying. I think parents, a lot of parents, that's what they do. It's like there's a certain.
But can you blame them?
No. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, I don't know. You make decisions, and everybody's different, and that's what's supposed to be making us all beautiful and different, right? And the moment we do, or we say, or we do whatever we want, what if that kid's aspirations aren't to go to college?
That's fine.
What if his aspirations are to get somebody pregnant at a young age? And
they say live your dreams, but then when the dreams become not what you think it is,
right?
We don't like it.
Right. What if I fucking get a career and blow up and I'm a porn star or some shit? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's like it's like stuff like that is what I'm saying, and that's why everybody should worry about their own successes and what you consider to be successful.
So
what your definition of successful, like the parents' definition of successful, shouldn't be yours. You should have what your definition of it is. If your aspirations is to be the manager, the whatever of Subway, fucking do it. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's your aspiration. But to shun somebody and to like try to like push them or steer them or whatever, guide them in the right way, I think that's like where, I don't know, it's like weird, you know? Like, there's a certain, that's why parenting to me is difficult.
But don't you think it's
but
different?
What if a parent, go ahead.
Come from like a different background? What if you came from, you didn't have a choice but to give your kids certain things? What if you didn't come up privileged more than others? What if you have no choice but to do what you had to do?
What do you mean?
Like, what if you come from a low income neighborhood? What, like, you got no child, the parent, and you raise your child, and they don't. That's all they know is going outside and seeing people outside on the corners and stuff. What if that's all they see?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna.
Rather than a kid from a suburb who's okay. I mean, grass is mowed lawn. It's normal. You don't see people outside late at night or just hanging.
I want to say something, but I'm not gonna say it.
What?
That I'm not gonna say because it's that's why everybody's so different, right? That's why that's why some people got it and some people don't. And if the block is all you see, then the block's all you're gonna see, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's people out there who see the block and use the block to their advantage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we act like that's the only thing that if somebody comes out in those situations that's all they saw and that's all they're gonna become.
No, that's wrong.
And that person might come up and do some other crazy ass shit and do something phenomenal or whatever. But like I'm not a fan of you're this way and that's why, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have the mind power, and if you don't, then you don't. And if you do, you do. I'm not gonna knock you for that. You know, and if the parent sees that, then I mean, did you fail? I mean, I don't know. That's up to you. Again, what is your definition of successful? What is your what are your aspirations? And then like the aspirations, again, what you have might not be my aspirations. So why are you pressing them on me? You know, why are you pressing your aspirations on me to do whatever it is that you deem successful? I don't know. That's just how I feel. But you thinking?
Yeah, because I don't know. Like for me, if you see your child going down the wrong path, and that's the choice that they make, would you not try and intervene though?
And you intervene, then what?
No, intervene as a parent. Like
I get that.
Just intervene.
You can intervene, and then what? Like that's what I'm saying. Like you can intervene all you want. We try to find again solutions to things that have nothing to do with us. We feel bad for the people that we don't know if they're even feeling bad for themselves. And if you need that reminder, then go ahead and give them that reminder. And if it doesn't change, then I'm not gonna force you. You get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna force you to do something just because of you. Doesn't matter what you are. Doesn't matter if you're blood. Doesn't matter if you're whatever. It doesn't matter. My closest friend. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, there's only so much you can do. If you can leave that situation with the moral compass of, man, I left that situation and I tried my hardest to do whatever it was, cool. But to force somebody, that's where I got an issue with it.
No, I mean, I don't think you should force anybody to do anything.
If they still choose that path.
Exactly. Like, I think that as parents, I'm sure that there's parents who are like, either you do this or you do this. There's nothing else in between. You know what I mean? But there's parents who honestly say, okay, here are your options. Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna choose to do?
Yeah.
Like, even with me, like with college, yeah, I'm sure that was my parents, like, fingers crossed she goes to college. Mm-hmm. But there was a point where I was like, man, do I really want to do this shit? But at one point I was like, no, like I want to do it. But it was because I wanted to do it. My mom was like, okay, so college, or come on, you need to do something. You're already out of high school. You need to do something, staying here, moving out, getting a job. But it was like those options, like do what you want, but figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what were my options.
So exactly.
Figure it out.
Pretty much. But you're
gonna do, you know?
Right. And I think that is a proper way, like figure it out, and I'll support you with what you do.
Yeah.
At least that's how I got it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you do what you got to do. I don't know. All right, y'all. We have came to the end of this episode. It was pretty good conversation. And yeah, man, just check us out. If y'all want to send through these suggestions for topics, let us know. If you want to come on the podcast, let us know. We are more than welcome to have you on the hot seats of podcasting, because we are the hot seats of podcasting.
When they do ask to be on the podcast, most of them don't know what they want to talk about.
That's fine.
Oh yeah.
They say, I want to be on the podcast.
I just want to
what
be
do you want
on
to talk about?
I don't know.
We just can't just sit around.
All right, well, then I got a trick for your ass if you send me that message. Don't worry about it. We'll figure out something to make you uncomfortable on these hot seats.
Make sure you save the date too when you say you're going to do the podcast.
Yes. So, oh.
Dear Dan.
Bang, 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 bang. Don't mind Joakim know I hate that guy. So, anyway, yes, we are on all streaming platforms. We are on YouTube now. I'm going to start with YouTube. We're on YouTube, Apple, Google, Spotify, and Anchor for your ass. And I'm going to look at both cameras, all 17 of them in here. We got everything going on right now. And yeah, man, shout out to you if you're listening. Subscribe to YouTube. Please, 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 please subscribe. We'd greatly appreciate it. and or listen, whatever the fuck you want to do. Listen, subscribe if you want to go on YouTube and watch us and see our beautiful faces. Yeah. And yeah, that's it, guys. That's all I got for y'all.
Yep.
Yep, that's it.
All right.
Thank
Good.
you.
Peace
Thank
out.
you, guys.